Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com. You know, sometimes I buy camera equipment just because I like to. I want to buy something. But then sometimes I buy something out of necessity. And recently I've been finding that I've been doing a lot more concert photography. And I have a little bit of a dilemma because I shoot Nikon and Fuji. And the Nikon cameras I have, a D800E and the D7000, really do not have good high ISO performance. Now the D800E has great resolution. It's a fantastic camera. You know, I brag about that camera all the time. But if you need to shoot at like ISO 3200, 6400, it's not that great. There's better Nikons out there. I just don't own one. The D7000 is similar. Its high ISO performance isn't that good. Now my Fuji cameras, on the other hand, my Fuji X-T1 specifically, has great high ISO performance. So I've been using that. And I have a 23mm lens, a 35mm lens, and a 56mm lens, all prime. The 23 and the 35 are 1.4, so they're pretty fast lenses. The 56 is a 1.2. Work great, but you're at a concert, you're in the photographer's pit, and you got to switch lenses. It's kind of a pain in the neck. Now, when I bought the X-T1, I didn't buy the kit lens that came with it. I can't remember what the numbers were on it, but I did get a different kit lens. I think it's a 18 to 135 was the one that I bought. The trouble with that lens is it's way too slow. It's like, I don't know, f3.5 to 5.6, something like that. And because it's slower, it doesn't focus as fast as you need it to. Whereas these 23mm, the 35mm, and the 56mm, they focus super fast. So I just don't want to switch lenses anymore. So what I did was I purchased the 16 to 55mm Fujifilm lens. Now, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to like this lens. It's fast. It's 2.8. So for a zoom lens, that's pretty fast, but that is 2 stops slower than my 23mm and my 35mm, and 2 1/3 stops slower than the 56mm. Also, it doesn't have image stabilization on the lens. Now, none of those other lenses do either, but because it's a little slower, 2 stops slower, it would be nice to have image stabilization. Now, I got to say though, I'm pretty good at holding a camera, holding steady. I've got great shots with like a full second, 2 seconds even, with holding. So I could do that okay, but it's still nice to have that image stabilization there if possible. Now it doesn't have image stabilization. It's got zoom from 16 to 55, and the angle of view equivalent on like a full frame camera would be 24 to 82.5. So it's right in that kind of sweet spot area that it's a real popular lens. 24 to 70, Canon makes it, Nikon makes it. So this is where this lens would shine. If you're a wedding photographer and you're using Fuji equipment, you probably own this lens. It would be a go-to wedding lens. It's got an actual aperture dial on it that has when you're going into shutter priority mode or full automatic mode, you would put the aperture dial on A. If you're in aperture priority mode, you could dial in the aperture from f2.8 to f22, and it's clicky, it's good. One of my little complaints about some of the Fuji lenses is this dial moves quite easily, so you could accidentally, inadvertently move it. The 35mm, I'm always pushing it around without realizing it. The zoom, as you can see, it zooms out a little over 1 inch, but it does keep the f2.8 throughout the entire zoom range. It's really solid. I gotta say, it's really solid. It's kind of got a rubberized grip here. In front of that is focus, and it's focus by wire. And I've mentioned this before in videos. I don't like focus by wire. I prefer to actually focus the elements when I spin the focus dials on lenses. It's just because I'm an old timer and that's what I prefer. But, you know, it's a new world. So you got to live with it. It doesn't have any distance scale on it at all. The lens cap's pretty solid. Pretty robust lens cap. It's got a 77 millimeter thread. That's pretty standard filters. Like in my Nikon, I have the 24-70 and the 70-200 take 77 millimeter threads. A couple other lenses I have in the Nikon line take 77 millimeter threads. So that's nice because I have a lot of 77 millimeter filters. So that comes out, works out really well. So I'm not 100% sure this is going to work out perfectly for me because I'm losing 2 stops. And the optical image stabilization would be nice, but I could hold it okay. But the trouble is when you're losing that 2 stops of light is the people are moving on stage, you get more of a blur because you'd rather use a faster shutter speed if possible. And that sometimes is afforded to you when you use a wider aperture. Give it a try. I'm going to give it a workout. I'll have follow-up videos where I'm actually using this and we'll talk about it and we'll look at some of the images that it creates. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon.